Part 2 of 4.
With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
It is this divine influence that moves them, that does not allow them to rest in any way, though they might bring upon themselves great evils by their action.
Please continue watching to hear the wisdom of medieval Jewish philosopher and rabbi Moses Maimonides, vegetarian.
Rad vidit тебя. That means nice to see you in Russian, one of the official languages of the Marie El Republic. I am Artyom. The virtuous people of Marie El pray you find true contentment in life through all that you do. May the heavens, light and love always be with you. Welcome to The Nature of the Divine Influence from the Guide for the Perplexed by Maimonides, vegetarian, part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. Maimonides, also known as Harambam or Rabbi Moses ben Maimon, was a notable medieval Jewish philosopher, astronomer, physician, and intellectual figure. Born into a prominent family in Spain, Maimonides' path eventually led him to Morocco and Palestine until he finally settled in Egypt, in Al-Fustat near Cairo. Shortly after moving to Egypt, life-changing events prompted him to start his practice as a physician. It was not long before Maimonides became renowned in the area and became the personal physician to the Sultan Saladin, a famous Muslim military leader. He also tended to other patients, lectured before fellow physicians, and became a leader of the Jewish community, teaching and helping its members. Famous works by Maimonides include Mishnah Torah, a commentary on the Talmud, and The Guide for the Perplexed, philosophical discussion regarding theological matters. A revered pillar of the Jewish world, Rabbi Moses ben Maimon also had a significant influence on some great medieval writers and thinkers, such as Baruch Spinoza and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, and made an important impact on the medical science archives. Today we will read selections from Part 2, Chapter 37, in Rabbi Moses ben Maimon's book, The Guide for the Perplexed, to better understand the different degrees of influence of the divine as discoursed by the rabbi. Chapter 37. It is necessary to consider the nature of the divine influence which enables us to think and gives us the various degrees of intelligence. For this influence may reach a person only in a small measure, and in exactly the same proportion would then be his intellectual condition, whilst it may reach another person in such a measure that, in addition to his own perfection, he can be the means of perfection for others. The same relation may be observed throughout the whole universe. There are some beings so perfect that they can govern other beings. But there are also beings that are only perfect in so far as they can govern themselves and cannot influence other beings. In some cases, the influence of the active intellect reaches only the logical and not the imaginative faculty, either on account of the insufficiency of that influence or on account of a defect in the constitution of the imaginative faculty, and the consequent inability of the latter to receive that influence. This is the condition of wise men or philosophers. If, however, the imaginative faculty is naturally in the most perfect condition, this influence may, as has been explained by us and by other philosophers, reach both his logical and his imaginative faculties. This is the case with prophets. But it happens sometimes that the influence only reaches the imaginative faculty on account of the insufficiency of the logical faculty, arising either from a natural defect or from a neglect in training. This is the case with statesmen, lawgivers, diviners, charmers, and men that have true dreams or do wonderful things by strange means and secret arts, though they are not wise men. All these belong to the third class. It is further necessary to understand that some persons belonging to the third class perceive scenes, dreams, and confused images when awake in the form of a prophetic vision. They then believe that they are prophets. They wonder that they perceive visions and think that they have acquired wisdom without training. They fall into grave errors as regards important philosophical principles and see a strange mixture of true and imaginary things. All this is the consequence of the strength of their imaginative faculty and the weakness of their logical faculty, which has not developed and has not passed from potentiality to actuality. It is well known that the members of each class differ greatly from each other. Each of the first two classes is again subdivided and contains two sections, namely those who receive the influence only as far as is necessary for their own perfection, and those who receive it in so great a measure that it suffices for their own perfection and that of others. A member of the first class, the wise man, may have his mind influenced either only so far that he is enabled to search, to understand, to know, and to discern, without attempting to be a teacher or an author, having neither the desire nor the capacity, but he may also be influenced to such a degree that he becomes a teacher and an author. The same is the case with the second class. A person may receive a prophecy enabling him to perfect himself but not others. But he may also receive such a prophecy as would compel him to address his fellow men, teach them, and benefit them through his perfection. It is clear that without this second degree of perfection, no books would have been written, nor would any prophets have persuaded others to know the truth. For a scholar does not write a book with the object to teach himself what he already knows. But the characteristic of the intellect is this: what the intellect of one receives is transmitted to another, and so on, till a person is reached that can only himself be perfected by such an influence, but is unable to communicate it to others, as has been explained in some chapters of this treatise. It is further the nature of this element in man that he who possesses an additional degree of that influence is compelled to address his fellow men under all circumstances, whether he is listened to or not, even if he injures himself thereby. Thus we find prophets that did not leave off speaking to the people until they were slain. It is this divine influence that moves them, that does not allow them to rest in any way, though they might bring upon themselves great evils by their action. For example, when Jeremiah was despised, like other teachers and scholars of his age, he could not, though he desired it, withhold his prophecy or cease from reminding the people of the truths which they rejected. The prophet Jeremiah said, "For the word of the Lord was unto me a reproach and a mocking all day, and I said, I will not mention it, nor will I again speak in his name. But it was in mine heart as a burning fire, enclosed in my bones, and I was wearied to keep it, and did not prevail."
Vegan, cause we cannot tolerate atrocity.
Noble viewers, we thank you for joining us for today's Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for part 2 of this program. Coming up next is the Duka, the last protectors of Mongolia's reindeer people, right after noteworthy news. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more uplifting programming. May heaven's divine influence strengthen your faith and longing to be one with the Almighty.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/WOW.